Hello everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft. I have something to show you, which I don't know why I hadn't put this together. I had heard about this, but for some reason I didn't realize that there was going to be something else in order to actually unlock it. And I had to actually find out, okay, how do I actually unlock this? Turns out you had to go somewhere to find somebody with the quest marker. You don't get something sent to you like, hey, this thing is here. Now, what's funny is that you can actually do this on either faction. So if you want this unlocked, but here's what I find funny, and I'll explain this in a moment. But first, before we actually get more into that, let me go ahead and do a little bit of a follow-up to when we did the Night Elf Heritage Armor questline, which you can see my Night Elf Demon Hunter here has both the Night Elf armor as well as the title. And I was very disappointed with it. I thought it was actually one of the worst Heritage Armor questlines, not the armor specifically, even though I'm also disappointed in the armor, but the questline itself, to me, just felt very lackluster and disappointing compared to some of the other ones. The human one was really well done, especially when it came to like tapping into some of the history involving the humans and how they were going to be moving forward and such. There was really barely any of that with the Night Elf one. Like, it was just kind of like, it felt more like a quest to unlock the mage class for the Night Elves, even though that's already a thing. That's how it felt anyway. Well, turns out there's a bit more to it, because when I got on this character, I noticed I had something in my mail. It's a note from Tyrande Whisperwind. Nixaden, Maiev told me of her mission's success and your aid. Never forget, you are more than a defender. Your presence serves as an inspiration to those around you, bringing our people together. It is this that marks you as the most honored of Elune, and it is for this that you will always be treasured. Maiev is right. We cannot stand forever in the traditions of old. We must continue to evolve as the world evolves around us. To that end, she recommended Lysander as a potential recruit for the Sentinels. I am reaching out to him to offer the position myself. If our warden sees such promise in him, he must be someone special. After all, she saw the same promise in you. Rest well, Amashan. Tyrande Whisperwind. Well, that's all well and good, Tyrande, but let's just say I've heard you say stuff like that before, and then you kind of don't carry through with your actions. So let me see if you actually carry through with that with your actions. Now, let me talk about this for a moment, because I do find this kind of funny. So here is the quest right here. This is the quest that's going to unlock the new cosmetic options, customization options for the Draenei, which is going to let you have the option to make yourself look more like an Eredar or a Menari, basically as if you want to look like one of the followers of the Burning Legion, that joined Kill Jaden and such. Which I have seen numerous Draenei running around lately, trying to look like either Archimonde or even Kill Jaden, or just like, those who we fought in the Burning Legion, like an Eredar and such. Now here's the funny thing. Obviously this makes sense that we would have the option to do this on the Alliance, since, the Draenei are part of the Alliance. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is also an option for the Lightforged. It might be an option for the Lightforged as well. I'm not entirely sure about that. We can always check, because I do have both a Draenei and a Lightforged Draenei on my Alliance server here. But what's funny is you can also do this quest on the Horde. And I guess it's like, okay, you're giving access to this for players who play that faction, but here's my question. If those are players, because I know these players exist, if there are players out there who only play Horde and have never even touched playing an Alliance character, then why would they have access to it if they're never going to plan on making an Alliance character in the first place? Really think about that. What's the point of having a Horde player? And again, I'm strictly talking about players who only play one faction, as in players who only play Horde and have never even touched playing an Alliance character and have no intentions of playing Alliance characters. Because don't tell me those players don't exist, because I know they exist. Why would they care about unlocking this? Now, I mean, if they want to unlock it, fine. I don't know, but it just kind of seems funny to me, like, that you would have this, like, it makes total sense that Alliance character could have access to this, but why a Horde character? And it just makes me so curious. So, I want to let you guys know that, so, here's what I'm going to do. I'm taking a moment to, I wanted to do that follow-up with Tyrande, but I also want to show you that if you want to do this on the Alliance side, it is right here. You talk to Vertos here, in front of Stormwind Keep. Very easy to spot. Just come right here to Stormwind Keep. It's a very easy place to find. Prophet Velen has roused from meditation, and he requests your imminent presence. A matter of great import has come to his attention. He would value both your wisdom and strength in addressing it. The Prophet awaits you aboard the Vindicar. Take this crystal. Our artificers have attuned it to the ship's teleportation matrix. So, here's something interesting about this. So, by the way, in case you're wondering, how do you get access to this? Well, first off, you have to be level 70. And I think that's it. Based on what I was checking online, apparently that's all you need. Now, here's the funny part, though. There's also other stuff that you can be able to acquire after you do this, but you're actually going to need to... I hope you did the stuff on Argus back in Legion, because it turns out you're going to need quite a bit of those things, which makes me go, well, I know there's at least a couple of Horde characters I have that did, in fact, do that. But I don't think I have any Alliance characters that did that, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys here that Vertos is here in front of a Stormwind Keep in order to get this. Now I'm going to switch to my Horde character and show you where to find the quest NPC in Orgrimmar. Once again, just showing you guys, here on the Alliance side, it's right here in front of Stormwind Keep. I'll be right back. Okay, so now here on the Horde side, there's Night Lord Draenei of the Shattered Sun Emissary. And he's over here in the Valley of the Honor. So usually they have these kind of quests kind of like, you know, in front of Gramash Hold over here in the Valley of Strength, or near the embassy. No, you're actually going to have to go over here to the Valley of Honor, near the building where Geira is still right there, and you'll just find him right here. So I'm rather curious to see how this is on the Horde side, since this is for Draenei stuff. Like, we're going to go ahead and do this on my main here, who is better geared in case, you know, in case things get a little rough. In case you're wondering, like I said, this is my main. She is hovering between 442 and 443, depending on which gear I'm using. She's got lots of really strong gear right now, as you can see, including, you know, Beacon, Anvil, yeah. Anyways.
Anaria Shola.
Prophet Velen has roused from meditation, and he requests your immediate presence. A matter of great import has come to his attention. He would value both your wisdom and strength in addressing it. Velen awaits you aboard the Vindicar. Take this crystal. Their artificers have attuned it to their ship's teleportation matrix. Now, the Draenei in Stormwind makes sense to me. Why a Blood Elf? Like, I'm a little curious as to that connection. Now, maybe this goes back to a connection from Legion? I don't know. I'm guessing I don't know. I feel like that maybe this guy had gotten tuned with Liadrin, who was part of the Paladin Order Hall, and the Paladin's gotten in touch with the Lightforge. I don't know.
We will have justice.
So yeah, they still have the Vindicar, by the way. Just reminding you, the Alliance still has this spaceship. This hasn't gone away. It's, you know, sometimes Blizzard likes to forget this stuff, but nope. It's still here. The Lightforge still have it on behalf of the Alliance. And you guys remember the firepower this thing had back in Legion, right? When we went to Argus? It's still here. I'm just pointing that out, reminding you, okay? I am glad my message reached you, Draenei.
Will you join our cause?
Hey, Ramul. Good to see you, buddy.
We must unite against the Legion.
Are you ready for the mission ahead, Draenei? The surface of Argus is still overrun with the demons, but our transport beacons are online and operational. I will take that as a good sign. So all those beacons we placed during Legion are still there? That's good to know.
The Vindicar is at your disposal.
Fear not, Draenei. For once the situation is not dire. In fact, I am tentatively hopeful, though that hope is tempered with concern.
Not all who wander.
Scattered visions came to me as I meditated. Yellow and red, shattering glass, a rush of warmth. I see my own hand, but I am afraid to grasp it. The scent of Fel, of Argus. When I awoke, a message had been delivered. Hatun wishes to meet. After the defeat of the Legion, I offered to help Hatun and his people rejoin us. However, they chose to remain on Argus. Hatun has seldom reached out to us since then. Perhaps he has reconsidered. I will make the journey to Krokun. Please, join me. Now,
Will you join our cause?
in the time that has passed, Hatun and his people have continued to reclaim Argus from the Legion. Perhaps he has made progress. Let Ramul know when you are ready to depart. So, so just as a little reminder, we of course had the areas here, the Antoran Wastes, Krokun, and then we have Eredar. Now, I'm only bringing this up because, in case you didn't know, yes, this place is now called Eredar because it was renamed, because it used to be called Menari. And if you are aware of the things about the allegations and such, you are probably aware as to why it was called that and why they have changed the name. It's the same reason they changed the name of Cassidy in Overwatch. But anyways, I just want to point that out, just in case anyone didn't know and was confused. Please teleport me to Krokun.
May the Legion fall before you.
Confirming beacon coordinates. Beacon locked. Initiating transport. Energize. What? Look, I've been watching Star Trek The Next Generation, okay? Give me a break.
I have many lucky doos you like.
I greet you. We will.
Yep, these guys are still here. Though it's not quite the same as it is for my other characters that were doing Legion content. Oh, hey, Akama. Yes, Akama is still my bodyguard. So this needs to be the next customization they add. Hatun, it is good to see you well. I had been concerned that... Spare me your talk of concern. I did not call you for pleasantries. But what I was going to say is that we're about to get customization options to have our Draenei look like, Eredar. Or Menari, however you want. I just refer to them as Eredar, even though that's their actual native name. But we usually refer to the ones we play as Draenei, and the ones who served with Kill Jaden and the Burning Legion as Eredar, the red-skinned ones. What I was going to say is that's nice for getting those options, but this needs to be the next option right here. Broken Draenei. Let us be able to have the option to make our Draenei look like the broken Draenei. Like, come on. Who wouldn't want to make their Draenei look like a Akama? Like, seriously. We all know Akama is awesome.
I will lead my people through any dark.
Words cannot be believed, only actions. That is why Velen must be here in the flesh. What did you want to discuss?
Walk in the shadows of the earth.
I have made an ally, only one who wishes to meet with you. I would be honored to meet with any friend of yours. Who is this ally? It is I. Oh. You have allied with the Legion? I would have given you any aid they could offer. I expected these accusations. Even after you fled Argus, never returning for those you left behind, you would accuse me of... Please. Please hear me. I have risked everything to speak with you. Speak with him, prophet. Arzal-Kal. But yeah, this is what I was referring to right here. Look at the way his skin is with it being red. Even look at the fell on his arms and even his tail and such. Yeah.
Argus will always be ours.
Let us see if Velen delivers the aid he once promised. There is nothing preventing him this time.
I will be
My hunters were the ones who
any
found
darkness.
Arzakal. They said he helped them fight off several Legion ambushes. During our endless vigil on Argus, we had seen nothing like it. He was not as powerful as some demons, but he was persistent. He said he wished to speak with Velen and knew that we had been in contact with him. So I fulfilled his request. If Velen is all he claims to be, then he would not turn away even the least worthy of his people. We will see. I expect little.
Beware the Legion's wrath.
Yes. Good.
We must unite against the Legion.
I am not here to fight, only to be heard. What do you have to tell us? I find it funny that the skipping conversation, complete the quest, is just right here. I haven't even done this quest yet, and it's already here. I am aware of how this appears, Prophet. I will try to be brief. I believed Kil'jaeden and our command. Their promises of prosperity for our people. How could I not? And so when they demanded we pay the Legion's price, I trusted them. We all did. But I never knew that price would be paid in millennia of bloodshed and ashes. And yet you still paid it. I did. Kil'jaeden had a way of invading the mind. Any doubt would be known to him immediately. Doubt was betrayal in his eyes, and betrayal, as you know, meant death. And I feared death more than the price of my sin. In the end, some of us fled the Legion, but the damage was already done. What will you do now, Arzakal? I want to show that I am no longer a coward. I cannot undo my crimes, but I will give all I have to try. Very well. Show me if it will ease your pain. Hatun is just staring at Velen, waiting to see what he does.
Not all who wander are lost.
Whatever it is that Arzakal wishes to show you, please accompany him. I must stay here and speak with Hatun in private. Blizzard, please make it where we can actually send some of these things, like the crests and flystones, to alts. My main here doesn't need these anymore. You guys want to know how I'm doing when it comes to some of these things? I have 47 Whelpling crests, 19 Worm crests, 26 Drake crests. I have a spare aspect crest, which I could, wait until I make an enchanted one. But the point I'm making is that I have no use for these on this character. And they still have not made it where I could just send these to alts, which do need them. Blizzard, make it where we can actually send these to alts. Please, I beg you.
Will you join our cause?
The Menari have grown desperate since the Legion fell. Some grasp for power, some isolate themselves. Others have formed cults awaiting the return of Sargeras. They have faith that he will lead them again one day. Narudun is the leader of one such cult. They are reclusive, but it is rumored that he has seized an ancient relic that Kil'jaeden kept until his death. Narudun claims to use it to commune with Sargeras. I believe I know what this relic is. If I am correct, it must be returned to Velen. That's amusing, considering that right now Sargeras would just be forced to sit down and time out in the pantheon of the Titans, with Illidan basically just watching him like, you don't get to leave that chair while I'm here. You get to stay in timeout forever, and I'm gonna make sure you stay in timeout. Understood? That's just what I picture is going on right now at the pantheon. That Illidan is just forcing Sargeras to sit in timeout.
We shall see.
I will meet you outside the cult's encampment. Tread carefully. So you will listen, but send your champion in your place when it is time to act? I cannot guide Arzakal to a path. He must choose it of his own will. Huh. It's all the way over there. I did finish the class campaign on this character, but I didn't really do much in terms of actually doing the actual, like Argus content here. Like, all I really did on this, you know... Like, I opened the way to Argus to be so I could be able to go to the, you know, to the raid over here in the Antoran Wastes. Yeah, Antor's the Burning Throne. So I could keep farming it. But that's basically all I've done. Also, it's a shame that they still have not made it where you can actually fly here on Argus. That would be very nice, Blizzard, but whatever. We still can't fly in other certain older areas in the game, like where the Blood Elves start or where the Draenei start. We can't fly where the Eredar is. Still plenty of places where they're just like, no, you don't get to fly here. And it's like, come on! Anyways. We begin here.
What is it?
So hold on. Why should I trust you? I do not expect your trust. I only wish to prove that I can still help the Draenei. Not despite what I am, but because of what I am. The Legion has made me into a monster, and they will learn to fear it. Alright, hold on a second, hold on.
Make it so.
Auradun has recruited a small army of cultists. They believe he speaks for Sargeras through the relic, clinging to every word he says, the same way we cling to our leaders when Sargeras came to Argus. It was a comfort, a hope, and in the end, empty deception. But his followers do not believe that they are deceived. They have constructed their own conduits in the area to try to tap into the relic's power, to hear the voice themselves. They will try to stop us. We must cut a path through them.
Good. I am listening.
Alright, I'm ready.
Make it so.
I tried once to reason with Nalradun, but he and his followers cannot be persuaded from their path. I always knew you were weak. You finally had a choice. You will be hunted.
I'm out of range. It's too far away.
I guess they overloaded this area because they knew that players were going to be here. Because at first I was like, man, this seems a lot for just one player. Then I realized, oh, they weren't counting on it just being one player. The relic's ambient power should be dispersed now.
Speak. We shall see.
I know what it is to be scared, but they had a choice, and they chose to stay on the path that we built atop the smoldering remains of countless worlds. Why? When our home was the first of the worlds we destroyed.
Good.
Gotta wait for him to respawn.
It's too far away.
Alright, I'm gonna let them go ahead and do that. Yeah, you two can go ahead and do that. I was like, why am I still in combat? Oh. Now, if you're wondering, why are you not jumping into tag that? Because I'm anticipating that there might be some dialogue if it acknowledges that I started the encounter. Remember, I'm trying to capture as much of the story here as I can. I'm not just trying to finish this quick and fast. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta take my character here to try and finish this up. I only need 2 pages left. As you can see, I'm almost done with this achievement. I only need 2 pages left. And then I'll actually have finished that achievement. The reason why that's a big deal is because it doesn't just get me a mount, it also unlocks an extra artifact weapon appearance from the Legion weapon artifacts, because it was actually tied to not just doing the Balance of Power questline, which I have done and is now account-wide, but you also get an extra appearance for doing that Glory of the Legion Hero achievement. I do like the idea, though, that this went out to you regardless of what faction you are. So, you would abandon Sargeras Arzakal, the only one who would ever fulfill his promises to us? Whoever fulfilled his promises to us? Sargeras, his voice, I cannot hear. You heard only what you wanted to hear, Naldrun, as did so many of us. The brilliant star, the yellow shard of the sundered Atamal crystal, a sacred Draenei relic. Holding it seems to focus your mind, honing your concentration to a razor-sharp edge. Interesting.
Yes. We shall see. Speak.
Even if I die here, at least it will not be at the Legion's whim.
Make it so.
It is done. One evil rectified. It is all I allowed myself to hope for.
Good.
Reinforcements are unlikely, but the relic is too important to risk. You should return to Prophet Velen with it immediately. There is a teleporter just ahead that I can attune to a signal of my own. It will provide you swift passage. I will rejoin you later. Mirror of Humility. Take on the form of a repentant Menari Eredar.
We shall see.
I was like, oh, that's what this is for. Atun allowed me to prepare a way back for you. I must stay behind to close this path. You better be right behind me. What, I just find it amusing, a demon hunter riding an infernal. I mean, it also makes sense on a warlock, but still. The Redneeks returns unharmed. I expected they would, one way or another. Otherwise, I would not have sent them alone.
Not all who wander are lost.
I sense something of great power in your possession. It feels familiar. But placing the memory feels like grasping at sunlight. Did Arzakal lead you to something?
We must unite against
Is
the
this?
Legion.
It cannot be, and yet I behold it. A shard of the Atomal crystal. It was called... Brilliant Star, it was called. The shard was lost to me on Draenor, taken by the orcs. I thought it gone forever. Nearly. When the orcs disposed of it after their corruption, Gil'jaeden reclaimed it for the Legion. I was willing to die for it. Oh, I'm sorry. Many seized it since the Deceiver's breath, but I could not let it remain in their bloodied hands. I was willing to die for it. I sought out the Procul, and then I sought out you. There are no words to express my gratitude. I do not deserve your gratitude. I should have done this sooner. I understand. I also have been forced to make difficult choices. Aterodath and Shatrath. But forgiveness is not easily given. Too many have suffered. I do not expect forgiveness. I cannot be forgiven, not in 1,000 lifetimes. But if this twisted soul can still do any good, I will see it done. Others have proven stronger than their darkness. The Orcs, Death Knights, and Illidari. Perhaps there is a path forward. There is much I would like to discuss with you, Arzakal, and others who believe as you do. Please, just Arzal. If I may return, I would have it be with the name I had when I left. Very well. Come, Arzal. And he extends his hand to lift him up. Atun, please think on my offer. I did not expect Velen to react this way. He did not have to. Perhaps things are different now. Perhaps we both are. I will allow myself to hope. Before you leave, speak with Gaul, our blacksmith. We have some things of value if you have resources to trade. So this gets you the achievement Witch Seeing Red, which unlocks the Menari Eredar appearances for the Draenei. And like he just said, there is something that you can be able to get here. Some things that you can actually acquire to add more to your customization stuff, as you can see here, from Gaul, the blacksmith.
We will not fall. Take caution.
If you have supplies, I have wares, old things, some sacred things. Eredar Artifact Recovery. Gaul will now sell a selection of recovered Eredar artifacts from Argus's Golden Age before the coming of Sargeras and the schism of the Draenei people.
The Legion will pay.
If you want to gather them yourself, these materials can be found throughout Argus. Recently, Arzal's allies have been stealing supplies for us from the Legion's encampments. You could try to locate them to see if they have anything for you to bring.
Farewell.
So, you can get Path of the Naru, which is a toy, which returns you to Valdrakken. It's basically a Hearthstone, is what this is. It's an extra Hearthstone appearance.
Will endure.
Apparently, if he's going to make something, he walks away.
It?
But yeah, this is basically... So you can get Lightweave Cloth, you can get Imperium, and Veiled Argonite. How many of you guys remember that from Legion? Yeah, so if you have a bunch of these, you can be able to get these things crafted. So you can get Path of the Naru, which is a cosmetic for your Hearthstone. You can get a dagger. These are all obviously Draenei-themed things. A Eredar staff, the Ancient Soul Priest staff. A mace. Another mace. A Lightforge Seeker, it's a bow. A sword. A recovered Karanos blade. An axe, which is a mining pick. And a claymore. So those are the things you can get if you want to go ahead and get these things.
Take caution.
So, let me go ahead and let's go ahead and pull up a... first off, let's see. Is this available on a Lightforged Draenei? It does not appear so. Let's double check the female. No, it does not appear to be so. Now let's switch to the regular Draenei. Aha! And there we go. They are unlocked right here. Down here at the bottom. You can become red. Different colored ones here. Hair color. And of course, different eye colors. For the Legion. Wait. So, let me switch to my actual Draenei character, and let's see what we can do about maybe making her look a little bit more Eredar, shall we? I've only got one at the moment, though I have considered actually what you saw, making an actual Draenei warlock, because let's just say I have seen more of those running around recently. I think a lot of people thought once you had these options unlocked, especially now with the questline to make every race be able to be a warlock, that the idea of making an Eredar warlock was just too good to pass up. So if you wanted, you could give her a more... probably more sinister looking face, like, yes. Just full on, like, red skin with red hair, and of course, the green fell eyes. Nothing else in terms of options. It's mainly just the skin color, the hair color, and the eye color. That's basically all it is. The thing is, though, I'm actually not too crazy about making her look like this as a shaman, because that's what she is. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, if I was going to make a new Draenei, like, as, like, a warlock, then yeah, I would definitely want to go and have them look like an Eredar. And I don't know, I'm actually entertaining the idea of just going ahead and making, like, another... warlock, but just this time as a Draenei. It is kind of... I wonder how many people are a little disappointed that that's not also part of the Lightforge, but at the same time, I guess that kind of makes sense. But then again, how many of us thought a Lightforge warlock would ever make sense? But yeah, this is something that you can be able to do to make her... any of your Draenei look like this. Like I said, when it comes to the faces, they didn't really add anything. So if you want to make your Draenei look a little bit more like, I guess you could give her, something like this. I'll bet the male looks a little bit more like it. Hold on, let's go ahead and test this out. Let's tease it. The idea of like we're gonna have this, and of course he could have a mighty beard or a mustache, because of course a mustache that's when you know you're evil, when you have a mighty mustache. And then, of course, you have on the male some of these other options if you really want to make yourself look like as if you're, Kil'jaeden or Archimonde, Behold, the next coming of Kil'jaeden, and he has a mustache! It's like the Mirrorverse in Star Trek. That's how you know they're evil! Anyways, that is the questline to unlock the extra Draenei customization options. So, it's funny that you can just go ahead and do that on either faction, but there you go. You can do that on either faction, and then they become unlocked for you. So, anyways, yeah. Like I said, if you want to start it, just have a level 70 character and go to, if you're Alliance, go to Stormwind Keep. If you're Horde, go to the Valley of Honor. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.